Good morning from Buenos Aires. We haven't filmed in a few days, so we just kind of wanted to fill you in on what we've been up to. We left Montevideo, Uruguay, and came back to Buenos Aires, and that required a few steps. The first one was that we took an Uber from our Airbnb in Montevideo to the bus station. Then from the bus station, we took a bus to the ferry port in Colonia del Sacramento. Then we took the ferry from Colonia del Sacramento across to Buenos Aires. Once we arrived, we took an Uber to the Sute, or train station, and then we took the Sube, or subway, to our Airbnb here.
And since coming back to Buenos Aires, really we haven't had any plans, so we've cracked on with some work. We've also enjoyed some more of Argentina's culinary delights, including one of the best steak dinners that I think we've ever had. Asado is such a treat, and if you ever come to this country, you should try it. And then on top of that, we also celebrated my brother's wedding. So massive congratulations to Johnny and Kate.
You did it! Congratulations!
But that wraps up our time here in Buenos Aires, because later on today, we are going to be flying further north to a new destination in this country.
Let's go!
This is the second time that we've ever had to queue for a lounge, but hopefully we'll get there soon and hopefully it'll be worth it. So here we are at an all-new lounge, and we all know what that means by now. So we are doing a lounge rating for the AMAE lounge here at the domestic terminal at George Newbery Airport in Buenos Aires.
Starting off with food. The selection is admittedly quite limited. There are a few hot bits to choose from, but they are more snacks and nibbles, as is the whole selection really. There are a few different varieties of breads, there's fruit, there's yogurt, crustless quiches, some deli meats, cheese, cereal, nuts, and actually quite a few desserts to choose from. That doesn't sound limited, but it is limited, because there's no meals that you can have, like rice or pasta, potatoes, meat, vegetables in that sense, but the food here is excellent quality. So with that, we're giving it a 7 out of 10.
There is an abundance of drinks options in this lounge, and really we've only had this paralleled by a number of other lounges that we've been through as we've gone through the world. Like right behind me, you have an amazingly fully stocked bar which has craft beer options, wine, and a bunch of spirits, and also cocktail options if you ask for it on demand. So that's absolutely amazing. The only reason that we're not rating this a 10 is because there's nothing really kind of unique in the same way as we saw when we were in Hong Kong or Singapore. But at the same time, they basically give you everything but that. So really, this is excellent. And that's basically it for the booze. In terms of the non-alcoholic drinks, then there are soda fountains, there's water taps. There are also a couple of takeaway options with you as well. And for those that are maybe lactose intolerant, there's even almond milks and everything like that too. So they've really thought about pretty much everything to do with their drink selections. So we're going to give this one a 9.
In terms of cleanliness, the only thing that lets this lounge down is it's a busy lounge, which means that it's hard for the staff to keep up with clearing everything away. That being said, they are very attentive. It's just the small things with a little bit of garbage being left on the floor because they haven't had time to sweep up, but in general, it's a very clean lounge. So with that, we're giving it an 8 out of 10.
The comfort rating for this really dictated by the fact that this is the only lounge that is available at this airport. And so as a result, because this is the only lounge option, then it means that there are a ton of people in here at pretty much all times, which does make the whole feeling of the lounge a little bit claustrophobic. That all said, by comparison to other lounges, the variety of seating options does mean that you can sit down to a nice meal. You can also have some space near the windows to the runway, and alternatively, if you want something that's a little bit more cozy so that you can curl up and have a nap, then you also have that option too. Because of the small floor space, you kind of end up having to take the rough with the smooth on this one, but we ended up coming out at about a 6 out of 10 for this one.
Amenities is unfortunately the downfall of this lounge. Of course, they do have Wi-Fi and there are charging ports, but those charging ports are very hard to come by. They are not available at every seat, so that is definitely something that we're marking this lounge down for. There are also no showers available, and you have to exit the lounge to use the washroom. There is no exclusive washroom for this lounge. They also don't really have anything else available, so with that, we have to give it a 4 out of 10.
And when you put this all together, then you come out with a total of 34 out of 50. And that really puts this towards the lower end of the mid-tier as far as we're concerned. But fundamentally, all it would take would be for a few tweaks to this lounge to make it that bit better. Even just by way of the basic stuff like making sure that there are more outlets and things like that. Even that would help its rating, and also just providing a little bit more of a comfortable experience for those here. All in all though, we're still not arguing for a very small airport, and we're only taking a domestic flight. This has been very, very welcome indeed, and just what we needed. But now it is definitely time to get that flight.
Pretty uneventful flight. We are now here in Puerto Iguazu. In terms of getting from the airport, you had a number of different options. We tried to look at Uber, and it seems like it's not really a thing here. And certainly an airport taxi is at least 18,000 pesos, which is astronomical. We're not sure if there's a public bus, but because of the time of night, we just wanted to get home. So we ended up taking a tourist bus instead, which basically takes you door to door. We were very, very impressed by it. And it ended up costing 11,000 pesos in total for the pair of us to get here.
We're only spending one night at this Airbnb, and this cost us $27.81 Canadian, so not too shabby. But it is nearly midnight, and we need to get up by 6 a.m. at the latest, so we're gonna hit the sack.
But until next time, take care.
And keep smiling.